Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we're going to be talking about what if Docm77 joined MCC. Docm77 is a very long Hermitcraft member, and one of the few hermits that is not in MCC, who has expressed interest in joining. To show you a clip here, at least a clip of them being interested. Here you go.
You know, I've been watching MCC for so many times, and
He's been watching MCC for so many times. I mean, hey, clearly that, I assume that would mean that he would be interested in joining as well. Potentially, maybe not, maybe he would. And today we're going to be looking into Docm77 for potential Season 4 or future MCC candidates as a newcomer. Now, I will say right now, I personally am not super familiar with Doc. I did do a bit of research, and I have pulled up some stuff here and there. But I don't know like Doc's skill level in terms of like PvP parkour. I'm gonna assume for this video that he will probably just perform like most hermits, which is lower mid range, with where they might excel in something like bingo or grid runners, etc. We'll get into that a little bit more as well. First off, here's his YouTube channel. He uploads pretty consistently, seems to be pretty much weekly. For the most part. Then this is the video that I know, or at least I first saw Doc in, I guess. I've known of Doc for a long time just because he's a hermit, but this is the first time I saw him, and he like, it all started when he raps and stuff. Here's his Twitter, and it was actually really difficult to figure out who Doc knows. Maybe it's not that many people. Yeah, I mean, because I don't know Doc and don't really have like consistent contact with him or a form of contact with him. Sorry for the yawn. I'm sorry. It's late now. Anyways, yeah, I don't know for sure who Doc knows. So when we get to the teams near the end of the video, I apologize if there are people missing from the list of people that Doc should know, or if there's people that I claim I don't know for sure if Doc knows, and he's really good friends with them. I tried to do my research. I tried to look at who he knows, and I couldn't find much more than like the hermits and a handful of people. Either way. Moving on to the like Reddit ranking thing that someone made, Doc actually ranked 7th. Now I don't know if that's a joke to play onto him being Docm77, or if they actually think that he should be number 7. I think Doc should be a pretty high up candidates for MCC. I think Doc would make for a very interesting addition to the roster, a very good one, a very welcomed one. Either way, what they said is, Doc is one of the only hermits who have expressed interest in the event in the past but haven't been in yet. Doc has been a part of the Minecraft community for so long, and I feel like he would play MCC differently to everyone else. He also said he's going to start streaming next year. Now, I also do agree with this. I do think Doc would make for an interesting addition to the roster, and I do agree that Doc feels like he would bring a unique POV to the event from what I've seen thus far, in terms of clips from him and watching a little bit of his content to try to gauge like what type of personality he has and stuff like that. Also, in the people linked, it's mainly just the hermits and H-Bomb, plus other hermits, and then they also even left a team idea which includes another newcomer, being Curryway, which is very interesting. Either way, in terms of skill level and ranking and rating, we're going to look at Cubfen stats since he is a hermit. I don't really know. Sorry. I don't really know what to expect here for Doc. It could be pretty much the exact same stats as Cubs. I would not be surprised if that was the case. I mean, Cubs' stats are pretty good, pretty solid around the board. With him excelling in the team-oriented games, even SG you could count if it's it's team PvP game. Maybe survival games is something that Doc is good at. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. But I think Build Mart and SOT and Grid Runners, upon learning the games, will be good, because hermits typically do pretty good in these, and bingo I think will be one that should be relatively easy to understand. Maybe Rocket Speed Rush from Elytra experience playing on Hermitcraft. I don't really know how well that translates over. I think every other game is either going to be a case where maybe they'll struggle with PvP, maybe they're good at PvP, maybe they'll struggle with parkour, maybe they're good at parkour, or maybe they just have a game that just isn't really for them. Who knows? I don't. So that's the stats. how good would I think? Do I think Doc would perform in MCC? Probably first events like around 30th, depending on the roster, maybe even 30th to 35th, depending on. I mean, I don't really know how good Doc is mechanically, but maybe they will do a lot of research for their first event. Maybe he will not do research. Maybe he'll go in blind. Maybe he'll join in a non-canon. Maybe he'll join in the main event. Like, there's so many different factors to consider where I don't really know. So I would say safely around 30th. And then here we go to the teams. Now this is kind of ordered in order of like what like I could figure out, and then pink team being the non-canon-esque team. Obviously you see a lot of hermits here. Starting off with what I feel like would be a very interesting team. Now I don't know if this would be the right team to start with. Probably not necessarily, but I think this would make an interesting team. Let me actually make a little swap skis because I think this could work out. So we swapped it a little bit. Either way. First team, H-Bomb, Cup Fan, Rendog. I think it's just a good combination. I mean, you get Ren in there as like a return to MCC as well, which I think is good. Sorry, I apologize. H-Bomb obviously being the Hermit fan, the Hermit carry, the Hermit whatever, the person who gets paired with hermits consistently, and Cub being a very frequently recurring and long playing MCC participant from Hermitcraft, which is why I wanted to swap him and Impulse, by the way. Also, Cub is pretty good at the game, so I feel like it would balance it a little bit better. By the way, if you haven't noticed already, these teams are not balanced, and also these teams are probably too weak for MCC nowadays. Either way. Moving on, next up you have the Pete, Pearl, Cleo. Now, Cleo obviously is a non-canon player. Pearl is an infrequent player at this point, I think. And Pete is also someone who gets paired with hermits pretty frequently. This would just work, I think. I think Pete and Doc would make for a good combo. I'm so sorry about the yawning. I need to go to bed. This yellow team, from what I can tell at least, Doc and Ant Venom know each other. And Ant Frost follows Doc on Twitter. Does he follow Ant Frost back? I don't know. I haven't checked. I didn't check that. Either way, yeah, I mean, Ant Frost, I think, would work pretty well. Scar obviously works really well, I think, as well. I think it's just good. All on the board. Lime team, you got two hermits again with Jojo. Jojo also, good to pair with hermits. Works well. Green team, you have notably Fruit and Green as a returning duo, and Gem, who I think, first of all, Gem and Fruit would be a pretty interesting duo, I think. I think that would be cool, because, I mean, they are, like, Canadian, I'm pretty sure, both of them, so that's a thing they have in common. Either way, would just make for a really fun team. I put it on Green because it's, like, the last Hermit team, and probably one of the least likely ones to maybe actually happen, potentially. I don't know. Maybe Orange. I don't know. Sorry again. Then we get into 4 teams where I don't even know if he knows a single person on these teams. But I think that vibes-wise, this could suit the Doc pretty well. And I tried to I tried to place some more OG-ish players on here, but I'll get into that. Cyan team, you got Smallish Beans, Major, and Lizzie. Lizzie follows Doc. I don't know if he follows her back on Twitter. Possibly, probably, I don't know. So that could be a potential connection. I think, I mean, you got to get your obligatory Scots Major combination in there, okay? Now, it's a little bit different this time because I didn't put him in orange. Either way, that's a team. Aqua team, I feel like Phil is also someone who you could put pretty easily with like hermits, and that would be a pretty welcoming player to have. Captain Sparkles is like the OG Minecraft YouTuber, and then Shelby is also pretty OG Minecraft YouTuber, I think. She should be fine, at least on this team. Blue team is kind of more like a random-ish team, but it consists of either like OG people or Awesome Dude, who follows Docm77 on Twitter, and also Awesome Dude loves hermits, so it could be a good combination, perhaps, potentially. So yeah, that's one team. Purple team, it's just British people or people from the UK. that's pretty much it. I don't know if any of these people know Doc or vice versa. And then pink team, look, you got a Hermitcraft member, you gotta give him the 2 like least likely hermits to play another MCC, but are very highly in demand to play another MCC, being Etho and B-Dubs. And I guess Iskel should be on the list too, but I kept it to Etho and B-dubs for now. And I give him Shane, because Shane has teamed with B-dubs, Shane has teamed with Etho. Give him Docm77, and also that gives Etho and B-dubs a familiar teammates who they've successfully teamed with in the past and liked teaming with, as far as I could remember and tell. And you get a fantastic team for, like, whatever event. If you do an MCC Rookies, Noxcrew, Scott, if you're listening, if you do an MCC Rookies, there's your pink team. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be on pink, but probably, but run it. You know, I think it'd be cool. Anyways, thank you all for watching. This is Docm77. What if Docm77, whatever, 77 joined MCC? Or, yeah, that type of stuff. Anyways, let me know if I made any mistakes in this video, if I missed something that's very critical and important. If there is a big thing that is important to note, I will pin it, okay? I will pin it. So let me know. And also, if you like the teams, let me know. If you don't like the teams, let me know. And let me know who you want me to talk about next. I'm skimming through this list. I mean, there's a couple options definitely left. Not even a couple. There's plenty of options. My folder of potential people to make videos about is quite large. I just try to switch it up a little bit and not just do like all the speedrunners back to back, or do all the Hermitcraft members back to back, or do all the whatever variety creators back to back, right? Variety. So if you have an interesting person to talk about who's like highly requested for MCC, highly talked about for MCC, let me know and I'll try to do it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.